If you're a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, just like myself, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and join the Pull Up to Take community where we tell it like it is and never like it ain't. Let's go! All right. My name is Michael DeLu, and let's just get right into it. Honestly, man, it is wow. How do I even express how I feel? I think that's how all Jaguar fans feel after yesterday's Thursday night victory over the New Orleans Saints. And I could honestly say, man, I don't know what it is about the Jaguars and why they feel the need to put their fans in, constantly put their fans, constantly put their fans. When I say constantly, I mean constantly put their fans over the course of a roller coaster of emotions after every single game during every single game they play. The first half, we looked dominant, very, very dominant. And even the first half, when I was talking to my homie Dalen, I was just like, man, the Jaguars should have put this game out of reach in the first quarter. But we just had we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. And every single time I come on I do these post-game recaps, I'm always saying the same thing. The Jaguars keep shooting themselves in the foot, and they keep leaving food on the plate every single week. But past 4 games, we keep getting W's. So I'd rather learn from W's than learn from L's because, over the course of last season, especially from week 3 to 9, whatever case may be, it was L after L after L after L after L. Close L's too. And them bitches hurt. Them close L's are the ones that hurt. Not the blowout L's. The close L's are the ones that hurt. But with that being said, nevertheless, I'm really, really excited because the Jacksonville Jaguars are, for the first time in my lifetime that I have seen with my own two eyes, they're 5-2. The last time we were 5-2 was in 2007, which also happened to be the year I became a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. But at the time they were 5-2, I wasn't a Jaguars fan yet. I didn't become a Jacksonville Jaguar fan until the end of that season after I seen them beat up on the Colts in incredible fashion. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I'm just so fucking happy, so fucking excited. The Jaguars got a win on Thursday Night Football, 31-24. And honestly, before I get into the Jaguars, I have to thank Foster Moreau for dropping a wide open touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. Thank you so fucking much. Thank you so fucking. Thank you. Thank you so much, Foster Moreau. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Without you, the Jaguars do not win because he dropped a wide open touchdown pass. So shout out to you. Keep your head down. I don't really care if you keep your head up. It is what it is. So the Jaguars, with this win against the New Orleans Saints, 31-24, that's 4 wins in a row. This is our 6th road win dating back to last season. Last season, we're road warriors. We get the job done on the road. And that's 3 wins in 14 days. No bye week. And we're still getting the job done. And I want to give a shout out to the coaching staff for consistently getting these boys prepared for war. Prepare for this week. No Tyson Campbell. No Zay Jones. No Walker Little. Offensive line looked depleted. Coming into this game, offensive line was depleted. Brandon Sheriff ended up playing, but we still got the job done. And I feel like winning this game was the second most important thing. The most important thing was the fact that Trevor was able to stay healthy, and we were able to get our first win. He was able to get his first win. It's funny how this works. We have never beaten the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. Trevor has never won in the Superdome. His first game in the Superdome as a professional, he wins, gets the job done, and we win our first game as the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Superdome. Prior to today, we were 0-3 at the Superdome. Prior to yesterday, we were 0-3 at the Superdome. Prior to yesterday, Trevor was 0-2 at the Superdome. Trevor was 36-2 in his collegiate career, and his only 2 losses were the LSU and I can't remember the second team he lost to, but both of those games happened in New Orleans Stadium. Like I said, the most important thing in yesterday's game is that Trevor started off the game and was able to finish it healthy without injuring himself any further or anything like that. And it's crazy that coming into, I'm not going to lie, I don't necessarily know the full extent of Trevor's knee injury, but I never thought it was anything that was actually significant or was going to keep him out the game. Like they said he got up and walked off the field. He said he felt fine after the game. On Monday, he said there wasn't really much swelling. He didn't practice all week, but he still was able to get the job done, which I love. And it's crazy because obviously I don't watch much of the Saints football, but the Saints run a lot of man coverage, and he took advantage of that in multiple times. I remember one time he had a 20-something yard run. It was beautiful to see. Like I said, Trevor gets his first win of his football career in New Orleans Stadium. Lost the last 2 games he played there. Both games were, close, not close games. Both games were good games, but, he ended up not getting the job done. And, one thing about Trevor is I feel like this, Trevor stated his claim for, a really good quarterback in the NFL simply because he was on the road against a better defense, didn't practice all week, and in the most critical junctions of the game, he made the plays. He made the plays for us to win the game. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. But wins are hard to come by in the NFL. And, we just need to keep stacking them and stacking them. We made enough plays to get the job done. We're playing much better football than we were playing in September. But we're still not firing on all cylinders like we should. And let me say this. I'm going to talk about our defense really quick. If our defense was not as good as it was, I promise this isn't even a hot take. If the Jaguars defense was not as good as it was, we would legitimately be 1-6. That's not even a hot take. I promise you, we would be and if we had an average defense, we would be 1-6. The offense consistently has taken their foot off and that's a mixture of execution by the players and that's and play call by Press Taylor. Some of the plays that he called in that fourth quarter, like the first half of the fourth quarter, were horrible. Horrible. It seemed like at specific points in the game, it seemed like they were trying to force feed Jamal Agnew the ball. When Trevor had Jamal Agnew one-on-one against Marshawn Lattimore, who's honestly one of the best defensive backs in the NFC, and he tried to pick on him. Oh my God, he lost his shit. And thankfully it was reviewed and overturned, but that cannot continue to happen. We consistently need to get Calvin Ridley involved in the offense, and it doesn't. I'm not even gonna say Christian Kirk because Christian Kirk is Mr. Reliable. Christian Kirk is gonna get his regardless. Evan Ingram is gonna get his regardless. We need to get this offense needs to start firing on all cylinders, and I feel like I come here and I say this all the time. We got to get more continuity on the offensive end. We got to get more continuity on the offensive end, and I'm hoping that that we start to see that because we need to start putting together our best games of the season towards the second half of the season. November, December, January. That's when we need to start really showing like, you know what, we might be real big dogs in the AFC. Like, you feel me? We're new kids on the block, but we need to plant our fucking flag on the AFC block like, nigga, we're here. So what? Okay, and I need that. Calvin really needs to be more aggressive and get involved. We need Zay Jones healthy. We need the offensive line to keep putting performances like they did yesterday. The offensive line was brilliant. Trevor didn't get sacked once. But we need more continuity. We need more everything. So I look forward to getting that in the future. Shout out to Travis Etienne. He becomes the first Jacksonville Jaguar running back in history to score 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games. Maurice Jones-Drew didn't do that. Fred Taylor didn't do that. We've had a lot of good backs in our history. So shout out to Travis Etienne. Shout out to the offense for making enough plays. Shout out to Captain Kirk, Christian Kirk, for coming in and honestly sealing the game away with that touchdown. Let me get back to the defense. Like I said, if our defense wasn't as good as it was, I promise you we'd be 1-6. The defense was excellent in the first half, held the Saints to just 6 points. Even considering the offense, Christian Kirk fumbled but made up for it, turned the ball over. We had a fumble on special teams, and those were the only way that the Saints were able to get the 6 points that they got. The Saints offense in the first half was horrible. But defense did its job and went out there on 3 straight possessions with a short field and got the job done. Honestly. And we didn't start to bend and break until the fourth quarter, which it seemed like we couldn't stop anything the Saints were doing. The Saints had a drive where they fucking scored in 4 plays. I've been saying this. This is my third time. It's like the fourth time this happened. I've been saying this. The teams begin drives where they just dice us up in like 4 or 5 plays. I'm like, that shit can't continue to happen, especially when we're holding them for the entire game. That shit's mind-boggling to me. It felt like we couldn't stop anyone until it mattered. We stopped them on the very last possession they had. Josh Allen was so close to getting so many sacks and so many strips. Oh my God, this is one of the best games he's played. I know it didn't reflect that on the box score, but one of the best games he's played. Foye Oluokun is making his case that he's just as good as Josh Allen because this guy is everywhere. Pick six. I don't know when the last time he scored a touchdown. He said in the postgame his last time scoring a touchdown was in high school. Foye Oluokun is our best linebacker. Devin Lloyd continues to play strong. The defensive line in the first half was holding up. Man, the entire defense in the first 3 quarters of defense was like it always seems to be the fourth quarter. It always seems, and thankfully for us, we're usually playing with a lead, and our offense typically can sustain drives. I don't know what the fuck I saw yesterday. That shit was horrible. In the fourth quarter, the offense was terrible. But nevertheless, we were able to get the job done. Again, 4-phase win. Offense on the very first possession took the ball down the field and scored. And then the last time we had the ball, we took the ball down the field and scored. Defense played lights out for the majority of the game. Special teams, Brandon McManus did his job. The coaching, Doug Peterson, big ass balls. Went the fourth down play. Shout out to Doug and the coaching for getting the boys always consistently ready to play. And I'm honestly happy that the game played out the way it did because this will show this type of shit will show us when we have an inferior team on the ropes, we need to step on their fucking necks and put the game away for good. But we move. Our next game isn't against the Steelers until October 29th, so I'm really excited about that. That'll give us some time to get healthy. Trevor get his knee right. Hopefully Zay Jones will be back. Hopefully Tyson Campbell will be back. Who else is on the injury report? I don't know if it's Cisco ended up finishing the game, but nevertheless, it is what it is. With that being said, my name is Michael DeLu. I'm the voice of Pull Up the Tape. I'm filming the devout Jaguars fan. DUUUVAL! Catch me on the next video.